Right, let's talk about e-collars and the bullshit that surrounds them. One of my biggest pet peeves is that people say, oh, your dog only does that because they have an e-collar on. Oh, they only do that because they're afraid of getting shocked. And it is the biggest piece of bullshit that I hear on a regular basis. I have an e-collar here. It's Maverick's, okay? So he doesn't have an e-collar on right now. And the one thing that I want to clear up is that e-collars do not teach dogs how to do anything. We train the dogs how to do all of the behaviors, and then we layer the e-collar over that. And before you all start saying, oh, well, if he knows how to do it, why would you add an e-collar on top of that? And it's very simple. It's super simple, actually. It's because they are dogs, and dogs are opportunistic creatures that are self-serving in moments where we would rather they listen to us. Sometimes dogs are going to do things, they're going to put them in dangerous situations, and sometimes they are just not going to do the things that we ask them to do, even if they know it very well, because that's just the nature of things. So holding our dogs accountable and keeping them safe is super important. Okay, allowing your dog just to do whatever it wants is dangerous, and it's not good for your relationship with your dog. Having clear boundaries and expectations is super important. The other thing that an e-collar is super helpful for is creating speed. So if you're doing sport, for example, it can massively improve the speed of the obedience and all of that good stuff. Okay, so there are many functions to the e-collar. The e-collar, though, does not teach the dog how to do anything. Okay, it is just another layer that we add on top. And I'll give you an example here. Okay, I've got Maverick beside me here, and I'm going to ask him to do a bunch of shit. Okay, because he knows how to do it. Like so. Maverick, come here. Good. Between. Good. Fuss. Good. Heel. Good. Super. Good. Middle. Good. Center. Good. Nice, buddy. Fuss. Good. Flats. Chip. Nice. Oh, that's so good. Well done. This is the other thing. Everybody thinks that because he's on an e-collar, he doesn't do things for enjoyment. My dogs get just as much reward as any other dog. The only difference is I can hold my dogs accountable. Okay? So, the e-collar did not teach any of that stuff. I taught all of that stuff. The e-collar is just another layer in his training. And it's that simple, guys. People that say the e-collar makes the dog do it have zero understanding of what they are talking about. And another problem that I have with people that talk poorly of the e-collar itself is that they just say, well, if they can do it, just get rid of the e-collar. You don't need the e-collar. And that argument is so flawed, it's ridiculous, because you can use that same argument with everything. Okay, well, they can do it without the e-collar, so therefore you don't need the e-collar. Okay, well, in that same sense, why don't you remove the harness? Okay, remove the harness. You don't need the harness. They should be able to do it without the harness attached to them. Okay, remove the lead. They should be able to do it without the lead. Remove the food, the reinforcer. They should be able to do it without the food. Remove the toy. They should be able to do it without the toy. And see, as soon as you start getting into the nitty-gritty of things, it just sounds ridiculous. Everything that we use in dog training is a tool. It's a training aid. It's a way to gain control over the dog or to reinforce behavior that we like. So by saying, oh, why don't you just remove it, is a ridiculous argument. Every one of us uses training aids and tools and some sort of reinforcement, and we all use it to gain advantage over the dog. So to say just get rid of the e-collar, well, the argument could be the same for the other way. Again, tools just give us more leverage over the dog, and the rest of it is just normal training. Okay, it's all reward based, it's all food, it's all play, it's relationship based. Okay, the e-collar just allows us to hold the dog accountable, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, and furthermore, if you use an e-collar, it does not mean your dog lives a miserable life. And I actually see more dogs on e-collars living better lives than a lot that do not.